Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. So Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Yeah, so who am I thinking now? Who am I thinking now? Yeah, who am I thinking now? Oh, who am I thinking now? Say, I call you Jireh, say, I call you Jireh. You're my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my banner. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. William me ground, come here. 1, 2, 3. William me ground, come here. I can breathe without you, sir. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, Lord. I can move without you. Who am I without you? Who am I without you? Say, I can live without you, yeah. I can live without you. I can breathe without you, Lord. I can breathe without you. I can move without you, yeah. I can move without you. Who am I?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depending on your location, I send you greetings from BWF Solicitors Legal Hour Studios. And then so me ma ankra bia kwaba eba yadwumedi so ansa na mekoso acheche ni memo no medican apamu nyina acho abra emre no akọ echiri kakra eya na eto de bia enye yen na enti se mo atwen ya acha mfa nche yen yo yebekọ yenim enen so adom ne nti no yenya hoden yenya nkwa enya ano na yade edwumedie eba aye BWF Solicitors Legal Hour so na ohwe me safei na wabeto me anase watwen me ache na wehu me sisi ade a ene mesre we ni die mo bomodia ne pianeti ko frefre adofo fro nua bi na ka kire se emre na som eka kakra but aso ama ya ye nua bema ye papa ye lawyer papa bi ode nkyerɛkyerɛ eba na sa nkyerɛkyerɛ ehia nti no obia entie bi nti wadofo ewo WhatsApp so ewo Facebook so YouTube so Twitter so X chese bebia Instagram bebia no mombo modia enhye empiapia netiko na obia enya sa ade ya yebeye enya ho mfaso menua ba tilidoma michia baby biara wo menua be manana agimman michiachia mo nyina bebia mo wo enemre ne kontime ma mekasa enye tenten meko straight to the point and then so senior tibia no isan say lawyer omo akware edamo na ye ne omo ye adwuma ne nti no abre bia omo de omo ni toto form near air corner bana and Crawford who bubo near the adeno no mark of fan or babet church remove fico in a bear ubenya udie and now chefa every more now so dear to anamo and internet ne yakwa for topic ya you who say and Crawford be brave edin we bubo. Etore bia ye keka akasa din a eya na ebi mu nte ase obeka se wo kromo a ana oyi uni na sei ene ye ba be chechire nwa kakra na ansa na meyi topic na edi no mema me resource person ano nso de nchie mu ohwam emu ode ema etiefo na ahwefo na afei no se kakra wo ho a ayembia ade e friend update home office for de ade chi na ade se nyina no na omudi bibi eba embia na de kode no ate embia na wonte ye eno ani update over the night or over the period of the week no something abaso no maybe sa no se bibi sa wo ho a mema na aka se bibi ani sa de a na afei na ma introduce ye topic no na ye de abetudwa enti lawyer Charles Mpacho mema wa kwaba badwumedie ne so Mpacho bibi aboko e wo ho de
Yamiadum pa Pachawonswe.
menso adom ne ahwɛ yie me ho yɛ papaapa enti no mɛma
Yamiadum.
wakwanya no na wode nkyia ama tiefo ne ahwɛfoɔ.
Yo, etiefo ne ahwefo ende efieda anopai enso bebi a wo bia ye chia wo. Yeda wase nso se wenya bre. Sendenso obeka ye ho na yesua ade. Update ni de bebre no aba no ano yaka yabɔ ne dewuro nti ende no yebekɔ straight to the topic enso ehia pa emanyen no retention of right. And then na yebi say we say den na adentia na kwan ben so na yebefa na yenso yenya sa retention of right no emu efaso. And then nkomo a yebetwetwe no yeda wase.
Yo, lawyer Asma, we de medase. When ya ti won kakra die, ene me mfa mbo so e dodo na maba so nyina mesrɛ mo. Mede nchia kese ema mom na mesrɛ bibi kakra mo ncheche na nkwa chichichichi maye. Yo, enti sami producer hwɛ me a mesrɛ obetimi de topic no ene say yes EU settle status no based on retained right. Eya na eto de bia legal terms no ana we beka legal terminologies no enye obia na ya na yete ase sometimes ubeti na ye o say oh what ya nti uti ase enso no answer na yebisa o say ye ka say obia retaining the right ase kire so bo nsa fe na ututu papa so ti say lawyers pe omonim omo asua ho ade omo no motia se tumi kyerɛkyerɛ ase ma wonya nte ase yie na won so wode ato abrabɔ ho enti no ene ye topic e ato ne say EU settle status based on retained right no ye behwɛ the water or say woye ye behwɛ the wire ewo say woyɛ saa ade no na afei how a wobetumi ayɛ saa ade no na won so we retain your right na wode atena afebɔ ewo krom ha enti eno na ye ba behwɛ na mo me a menye lawyer ni nti no mentumi encheche mu ene nti na ye nua bema ye papa ye lawyer papa bi lawyer Charles Asma ewo ha ene obecheche mu na yehu adekode enti no medical ebisa no sa EU settle status ne kra no eno ne de ade ansana menya based on retain right no ye can retain right no so no so ye adekuben ade ben eden de kire answer ne abehwe no the what ne abehwe the why na de be abehwe the how a ye betumi yenso yenya saa ejinaso no ye friend retain right no na ye de ato anamo nti Asma mesa atonsa afro biom sama wakwa be biom na enemy question am de abetudwa no bigidi se wo na obetumi acheche me mu acheche me ase na metumi nya nte ase na me de ato anamo enti no ye can you settle status based on retain right no kwadaroma ede na obeka afa ho
Yo medase na ye etiefo ne ahwefo. Sene yenim no ye wo European Union na ewo ho anasa still ewo ho anyway na UK eka ho na efis no anti na nia ewo EU mu no UK citizens no esese omunya ebi na emu bi ni immigration free movement of people. Na ekoba say UK befi EU mu. Na UK fi EU mu na akoba say NDS say UK fi EU mu. Na family members now more right that no within the treaty provisions no. Then na ombenya. Na akoba say sadia wa family member wa mu dada whatever it is no wobetumi abo bra na omode EUSS ebaye European Union Settlement Scheme. Na European Union Settlement Scheme no nyina ne say EU for and our family members person witna UK or mem no ombetumi aye application na omo atenemu ema na ye yie. Na question is say me ye EU ni na maware na aware no egu anasa aware no engina for example anasa BBSC bi owu akoba saa nimpa no a oye me family member na ogina me so enya UK asetena no ne situation ebeye den owuo ba ebeye den na awaregya nso ba ebeye den na mra no na ekan ne se we EU family member na we ne we EU family member no neti na waji asetena ama wo UK a ye 5 years sa na owuo ekoba owuo no ya fault santi yentumi enka so owuo aba enti eno ano no sa no akwenya na wo right no that right will be retained. The next one is my name is family na ho na awaregya akwaba me yere me kunu awaregya akwaba eno no me lusu akwenya na me wo a odegye nkrata no ma me no ana again the akwaba ne said no sa awaregya akwaba ehia fe ye be punish sa nimpa no sa nti nimpa no betumi aye application ne bresso a na ne obaka ne say I had the right na BBC and my right has been retained for me under the rules. It's near Shomwa, the Yakan Yinan say, under EU rules, say, Uwu Eba, and that's how we'll jaya Eba. Nimpanoa, or EU family member, no, the right under EU, no, NCZ, Santi, or better one life or so. And it is very good because untumi mpanishin impano when ya esino ho. Nti saa nyama no yɛfrɛ no supervening event. Supervening events. Nti sɛ supervening event no ɛba a wo a woyɛ EU family member no a woda EU ni no so no even though woni ni hɔ biom anaasɛ biribi nti mu ntam atete but your right as a family member will remain with you. Nti ne yɛhwɛ mu a your right as a family member is permanent provided even if there is a break, you can prove it say break a buyer and nie. Enti natural say very very helpful. Yona metumao.
Yo, Matiasie, ene na afei na menya emontiasie ye be say sa menya sa retention of right no. Enti etiefo a mo hwe yen say afei no wadwan ni a we are actually talking about EU settled status based on retain right no. Ye be hwe afei na ye du baby a ye be hwe the what, the why and the how sa ade we etumi fa so na ye de nya. Enti lawyer Charles edikan acheche asie say ebetumi eni edikan retention of rights and I said to retain your right no mbia na ya ware jai and say separation and I say you can say say unipa na ugina ne so no waka baby eno no akyere saa de mu nyina na enya monti ase lawyer Charles medasi ye afa ye ba behwe when yenya senior no you can't the water, not just said the what to do and sawosaka sa retain right no and I said the what to do abrawenya retain right no now they are two and a more that we need.
Water. The water ye return right no crowd no a den. A den and then a yachirimuno. So we've dealt with what is a retained right or retention of right under EU. Near Ekani Nani said retention of right akwanyi bi a ɛwɔ mmara no mu a EU4 family members pɛ ɛna ɛwɔ sɛ biribi kwesi na ɔmo family relationship no biribi ekosi na kwan anasɛ ɛte kɔ a anasɛ ɛni hɔ bi mu a akwanya bɛn na ɛwɔ hɔ ma wɔn ɛno ne retention of right no ma nea ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ saa retention of right no ɛnyɛ sɛ for example midway into your limit of residence ɛna wobɛkɔ akɔ sɛ meyɛ application na me pakyɛ ne sɛ obi wɔ mu a ne kunu ewu ne yere ewu anaasɛ aware no egu ɛtam aware no gu na ɔntwa 5 years anaasɛ ɛtam a ne kunu wu yɛ na ɔntwa 5 years anaasɛ ne yere wu yɛ na ɔntwa 5 years na pre-settled 5 years no na ɛnso yɛ yɛde ama wo na owuo akɔba anaasɛ awaregyae akɔba wonim sɛ wontwa 5 years because the nipa no te ase anaasɛ aware no ngui a nka wobɛtwɛn 5 years before you go for indefinite leave to remain ɛyɛ settled status ni wetwa 3 years nipa no ewu na wo sɛ wode application kɔtum because what is say wotumi akɔgye retain right no ɛnyɛ application foforɔ a wokɔ akɔyɛ ɛyɛ application no a wobɛyɛ no a na mbom woyɛ on the basis sɛ nipa no a wogyina no so no ni hɔ biem but you have your right intact or kept nti a preserve right no ama wo ɛhyɛ freezer to woyɛ ready a na wakɔ akɔfa na wɔayusu question is time bɛn na wobɛyɛ ready wobɛyɛ ready time a wobra so sɛ woyɛ indefinite leave to remain ɛyɛ 5 years after pre-settled status date anaasɛ 5 years after marriage date sɛ moware wɔ UK ɔman mu a nti moma yɛhyɛ ɛwɔ no so because lot of time no na yɛ a nkurɔfoɔ ɔmo de application atum na after lawyer ɔmo de tum no ɔmo atena ma 5 years biem meanwhile me kunu ewu anaasɛ me yere ewu anaasɛ aware no egu me de kɔtum mu no ɔmo atena ma 5 years biem wobisa na ne wobɛhu nyinaa ne sɛ ne 5 years na yɛde maa no nso yɛ nti time nso yɛ saa anka wobɛyɛ indefinite leave to remain no ɛna pocket lawyers advises that retention and the faculty may refuse and I say I'm out the same thing. Inti mama yanka say retention of rights no and yet application nembum a rule within the EU immigration rules. Actually says we EU ni na what time so wo kwaje afebo no certain status no nambum oba no anasa be man no a be sponsor wo no wewu anasa aware no egu into new life mi bi mu a you can still make the indefinite leave to remain application because we time aso but we argue say aware no egu 3 years ago into be man no anasa oba no oni ho a obe supporting my application ti mia na meye anasa wo akoba ti be man na anasa oba no we film anasa me papa no anasa me maame no a ode me baaye no we film nti mia na meye anasa me sister no anasa me brother no anasa extended family member na ode me baaye no we film nti mia na meye made ekoba saa na omeka no say ndie sponsor na nka SSR oma wo evidence na the support to application no you don't need that sponsor again because of that event no akoba no and because saa nipa no ni ho nti o ma hwe time a event no esiye na ebisa say before event no besi no then na o wa say saa family member no owo wo life mu enti mo ma yen hwe ehwo no enso you only put in the application when you have exhausted your pre-settled status limit the last 1 month no na wo de atum under retained right provisions.
Hey, and ya fe na ye tie ase ye because e an nim say ye can say application bi or so ye but say what trend say ye principle na say ye policy na che say senior wo church mu no na eduru ho na wo time aso no na afi o say wo ko enim no na eno na be che say we retaining right na say on retention na eto de bia aware na say depending on someone I say akoye say akwantu obi enti wo tu kwan na nipa ko ne na itu kwan no ekodu beebi no na wagya wo nkwantemfi anaasɛ wagya wo abramo hyɛ aseɛ na wagya wo na mmom mmerɛ no a mo hyɛ mo akwantuo no aseɛ no wone ne tena kakra ebe ida sɛ yɛ aware o anaasɛ yɛ wo maame anaa wo papa a wode pɛne na wode ɛyɛ yiyifoɔ abusuafoɔ ho asɛm na yɛka no nti akɔdu baabi na afei gyene na mokɔ no ɛso atwa wo deɛ ne deɛ ɔsɛ ka wotoa so na wokɔ nti ɛbɛkɔ akɔdu baabi no na ɛbɛkyerɛ sɛ saa wotumi retain wo right no anaasɛ wantumi retain asma me deɛ mate aseɛ yi ɛwɔ sɛnea makyerɛkyerɛ me mu deɛ mate aseɛ saa ama me ho enti no sisi a wakyerɛ yɛn sɛ wakyerɛ adekode a ɛyɛ retention of right no mmerɛ a enti yɛmfa ne sɛ sisi a no sɛ ɛba ne sɛ mene nipa ko no etu kwan anaasɛ awareɛ na menim sɛ nka mudi kan wareɛ no yɛma mfie num na ɛbɛma wo no na nka mfie num ne du a na watoa so akɔgye indefinite enti no mmerɛ bi nso atwa mu yɛnim sɛ nka wone ne tumi tena mpo ekodu mfie mmiɛnsa na nka awaregya ɛba deɛ a wokyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma bi a na wei na sɛ woka biribi sɛ nipa ko na me tu saa na mo no edu baabi no mentumi enya ne bibia emfa nka ho na memfa retain me right anaasɛ memfa ntoa ma kwantuo ne so anaasɛ memfa ntoa me application ne so a menya ne bibia embia na waregya anaasɛ sɛnea ɛkɔbaa no ntɔkwa abufo ana owuo kra baabi okɔwu na kyerɛ sɛ there could be something a ɛbɛma ne ntin mentumi nya ne hwee emfa nka me deɛ ne ho na memfa ntoa anamo no so no sɛ ba ne saa woka biribi ɔhɔ no manhyɛ da nte aseɛ yi anaa mante ne yie ɛba ne saa ɛdeɛ mpɔten na ɔsɛ woyɛ na wo nso watumi agyina wo nan so
Yo, I'm saying, yeah, audience equipate the how is the process, but young pick it why
why
on this our policy no buy young and be brief, then I will answer your question. Reason and retention of right, buy a good. Until Crawford more prepare rano, or mushroom no, only says into a say life event this year, apart from our war and so ever. Apart from our giants so ever.
Sir.
In this me mammy or me buy and as a me papa or me buy no we were. Does it mean over punish me because of death na abandon na question is say I am a fault no. So you can't punish me. And at that point, what do? Do I go back to my country or I stay in the UK? If I'm staying in the UK, will I stay based on my own right or based on my family member? No, I didn't buy we will know, and it's only will be any right. What about our rear? So our rear koba, that means being a lead to that. Uber punishing panwa, ye done our no, or ye family member no, okay, 5 years and sponsor no, we no. And now so say, Uber say, okay, so our rear koba there. Let's see how we can support family member no or pre-settled no. Nti mrano put in your consideration together. And mrano conclude says, "Sana etia dia say kobasa bibi esi owo our jaye akoba dia the children should not be punished or the parents should not be punished. Say ayakwala na we fi mu a say our jaye so the spouses should not be punished. So mum punish one there and the one be shine. You can say, yeah, punish you because right, is still protected. Now, sa reason the buy, what they say, ube prove say, sa adenu esi ampa. To me prove it there. Now, what your application? The reason why you are making the application, which is the why, is that it will not be fair for you to be punished. And your right to continue to remain in the UK ceased just because BBSia and your fault. Our Jaya and your fault. Uwo and your fault. In Tisanetia, there is a good reason for your right to be preserved. Hence the reason for the retention. Now we go to how the process will work. And then the question back will be say, and this our via mo worry UK or memu via mo worry 2020. And now Obano ejina so the kwaje in krata because papa obema no EU ni. Ya mo Obano 5 years pre-stative status. And now all trends say a D 5 years obakwaje afebo indefinite. So 5 years, question is say ebe start if he ebe start if time yama no 5 years and I say ebe start if time obeye the family member no. It will start from time obeye the family member no, which is the date of marriage. So mo worry e wo UK o memu a. So mo worry wo amanoni na nipa no de ba ye dia it will start from time the nine ebe see UK soil so, which is a vista stamp in the passport on arrival. So arrival date, for those who married and the person joined from abroad. And a marriage date for those who were living in the UK together and they married in the UK, either by proxy or by whichever means they married in the UK and they were together at the time before any application. So it is residence based. Residence based. Now, to your question in an incentive say owo koba and say reja koba evidence ben na me putu am de be come application and say me fa evidence bia nko what the evidence be call because before our no begu and say owo ni baba no na woni ni pare na ti our your sponsor so you have to prove up to the date say event esi here no
This year.
until up to the date of the supervening event the date of supervening event say you who are date of death. Say our date of divorce. But with
Yes.
divorce, there is a bit of explanation because before a divorce, a bit take place, be an separation abadada. Maybe they were separated for 6 months before divorce proceedings started. Until up to the date of separation, because the woman separated pen about 20 until in can be more now we're not akoba. The son that there I usually argue from the date of separation because that is the data response no every will life mu. But before that date of separation there you were together just will provide the evidence.
Okay. Saa na ɛteɛ. Ade no nyinaa kɔyɛ sɛ ɔsɛ wokyerɛ wo provide evidence no say date say ɛna adekode a anaasɛ separation anaa divorce no yɛhyɛ aseɛ no nti na megyina so na me nso maka sɛ ayɛ m biara no yɛgyae deɛ nanso matumi nso ayɛ m'afa mu deɛ na mpɛ sɛ mereturn. Lawyer Asma, yɛate ɛhɔ no aseɛ na menim sɛ ahyɛ daa ansa me question no sɛ yes sɛ wobɛfa saa process no na wode ayɛ nti ɛno saa no sɛ ɛba ne sɛ wobɛyɛ saa application no wohu sɛ nipa no a wante ne nka naa no menim sɛ answer because I said me so satisfied with the answer na menya no. Nipa na wonte ne nka na okọ na ma separate. Wait to me provide date there. But se ba ne se wonya ne hwe emfa enka wo de ne nto aso ho ne me burden kakra no. Mpacho menim se otimase de a.
Pacho no na wokyerɛ mu no na o point no so na enye clear ma me. Pacho na wo say exactly what?
Okay, mema scenario no na enkyere mu kakra. Me de nipa na atena ya separate anaasɛ ya divorce so. Metumi anya divorce no ɛda ya divorce so ye date no. Na on sɛ application bia sɛ wokɔ akɔtoa so mbia mekɔgye me pese me hu sɛ ma return me right no. Abra wefi me nkyɛn sɛ ne be a me metua akwantuo ne so anaasɛ metumi ayɛ me further application. Na saa divorce certificate ne nko ano eno no one mɛyɛ de ehu sɛ metumi retain me right mɛyɛ de mehu say abra me kunu ana me yire ana me ma me wafi me life mu yi sa metumi kire date no e den na be kire say metumi retain me right eno ne first one and afen so some person metoa sa akwanto ne so a den na say me because embia na menya ne bibia amfa nka ma application no ho nti ho na me bisa den na say me ye na me fa entoa ma akwanto ne so.
Yo, but that's a bebre. Just like anything. BBC a who say BBAC.
Mm.
Say we your application. Who say why your application because you have reference number. Say who did a who say who did because aduane esi w'anim a wutin akọ
Mm.
w'anum.
Mm.
Say who jare a who say who jare because who didn't see you ego ho. All I'm saying is say who say BBAC. And
Okay.
at the cost of nti automatically saa nipa no our life mu no a wo depend on for your residence no when you life mu bi mu.
Any hope you. Mm.
The moment when nipa no efi wo life mu no your right will continue because the
Okay.
fact that we feel life mu doesn't mean say your right to residence has ceased. It has been
Okay.
retained. So
Okay.
retention of right, you know, and yet
Mm.
it simply means
Mm-hmm.
that the sponsor no new hobby more, you still have your
Mm.
life to live in the UK.
Yeah.
So sponsor no new hobby more, you can still make an application. So
Okay.
sponsor no new hobby more, visa na yedema wa EU family member visa no will
Mm.
continue because that visa has been
Right.
retained right as
Right.
a family member of an EU national. Now,
Mm.
back to point now we make no. Now we
Mm-hmm.
know say esi a we say esi because
Mm.
aware ni egu a we say aware ni egu
Mm.
divorce certificate evidence. Nti wontumi ka say aware ni egu
Mm.
abra who need divorce certificate. And I want to make us say you have retained your right whilst nothing has happened.
Mm.
If nothing has happened, yeah, then there's no right to retain. The
To
right is
retain.
still there.
Okay. Okay.
The right to know
Mm.
no say
Ah. And to me, yes. Mm-hmm.
it has to be retained. You have to
Mm.
stay. What they
Okay.
say, Owu Abba, our Abba, that
Mm-hmm.
permission me no must
What's
remain.
it? Uh-huh. Woka ne saa na afei woba yɛn die mu ɔn sɛ ɛyɛ na borɔfo no nti aseɛ no wɔkyerɛ kakra ma yɛn no ɛyɛ binom nti no ma afei na mate ɔhɔ no ase yie meda ase yie paa etiefoɔ sɛ afei no madwene a yɛgu so a yɛreka saa EU settle status based on return rights na ɛno sisi a lawyer asma akyerɛkyerɛ mu paa ma akwalaa koraa gyina nkyɛn a ɔbɛte aseɛ sɛ biribi bɛsi biribi kudu na esi yɛ no nti no ɛno kyerɛ sɛ wontumi ɛntena biom anaa daabi ɛnɛ adeɛ no kyerɛ sɛ adekode nsi koraa no a still a ahoɔden no a wowɔ no a wode tena no ɛda so ɛwɔ hɔ ɛno ne you still retain your right no ɛnti no yɛbɛkɔ yɛnim lawyers ma meda ase papaapa sisi a no sɛ yɛba bɛtwe yɛn ho ɛfiri me nua anaasɛ ntease a yɛnya wɔ ha no merita ne me right deɛ mehu ɛkwan a mefaa so mehu nea meyɛɛyɛ anaasɛ sɛnea ɛbaeɛ a mɛtumi de return me right na mmerɛ pii no sɛ yɛka retention of right na nea memete asɛ ne sɛ na kyerɛ sɛ wonyanya wo indefinite nti adekode a ɛbɛboa wo a wobɛtumi akɔ akɔgyina so de anya wo indefinite na ɛno na yɛka sɛ wo retain wo right no anaa na sɛ saa na ɛteɛ deɛ a yɛnhwɛ mfiri ha sisi a no metumi retain me right lawyer asma sisi a mpɛ sɛ metoa akwantuo ne so mekɔ akɔ yɛ my further application so it could be indefinite leave to remain mpakyɛw ka biribi
Me too.
okay nti mefiri ha na mekɔ akɔyɛ saa application no wɔkyerɛ sɛ mewɔ ahoɔden mewɔ license anaasɛ mewɔ ahoɔden a yɛbɛtumi de ayɛ saa na mmom mekɔ akɔyɛ application no yɛbisabisa me nyoma sa application nim say dodo na okasa wan kasa wo ye wade a wan hwa na watoto to papa so ama na nkoye yi inti lawyers na betumi aye e de ama na mom lawyers no nso benya o menim say answer na obeye you need few evidences how de be kire na a kire say wo kwa akwaje wo indefinite no na we na me kunu na maame na me ne tena na se me return me right there my bibia si because yes application no me nya ne bibia but bibi stress still a metumi ay application no enti e ba ni sana me koye application e den na o se me ye
Yo, enti na wobetumi ayɛ ne sɛ edikan hwɛ sɛ wobre aso sɛ wokɔgye indefinite anaa sɛ wobre nso yɛ a wontumi ɛnyɛ application no nti woma yɛhyɛ ɛwɔ no nso wɔ 5 years no aso anaa sɛ nso yɛ a don't start sɛ aso a you can start woba start in the last 28 days another last 1 month no a ade no ɛbɛwu no now yehu ɛhɔ no yate asɛ sɛ sɛ awɔre no gu a it doesn't mean say awɔre no gu nti saa da na awɔre no gu yɛ wonya divorce certificate na wo de retention ɛkɔtum abra wɔ 5 years na ɛnso yɛ no you can't do that to mention no so ɛna owuo no ba it doesn't mean say wonya death certificate na wo de kɔtum no time nso yɛ woyɛ a yɛbɛsan ma 5 years biom na mo aka kyerɛ sɛ your time is not yet up for indefinite you know under paragraph EU11 of appendix EU to the immigration rules. I can say, so what's now UK for 5 years, you qualify for indefinite. So your application now, you indefinite. But I want to 5 years. Now we say, may retain me right because we akaba. Then it doesn't make sense because we time in soon here. Then say retention of right, and your application. Nembom, a indefinite leave to remain application on the basis that we need evidence because BBI then equity from a certain date. Now, the next thing is say now we are looking at the how. Over your application to maybe someone say before I didn't be seen. Then say me family member no na ewo. So then say one nati. Proof of living together. Just like before, now we require pre-settled now your 5 years no. We be prove up to date so as adie no esi we retain your right Then say owu nso a we be prove say before anipa no be wu no na woni na ho anasa woni ni ho. It's important. Untimi nka say owu endra nanso for the past 1 year, no, many evidence be doesn't mean say now we need ho ana you see a burial. So woman me and as papa, as I say we show certain evidence. So one na again, of course, you say dependency there. In court a rule say untumi use dependency and friend refuse to obi because oye juma ono anye ne sika or the share no. But you still have to show say when your family member no who a relationship be and a connection be. And dependency is not just about sika, it's also about emotional support, guidance and direction, care. And no nipa no be a woba no another woman na won net no why when you juma we no bia osika kra a dose say woman me there nti you don't need your mom or your dad's financial support but you still need your mom or your dad's guidance and support, emotional guidance and then psychological support, counseling no and you know a dependence maybe. Into the question is say before nipa no ebewu no were you getting that support from them to prove your dependency? Into say nipa no unni evidence be just say na woni o ma me na te woni o papa no na te before obewu dia na ebeye din again because you see na can say first you have to show the original evidence until say owu na aba ka obe show evidence for 5 years but because of owu and that's our giant nti you cannot show evidence for 5 years. So you have to show evidence up to the date That event,
Odiwuye.
a buyer.
Mm.
So you can't say you don't have anything for the past 5 years. And we then when you first 5 years, And then when you first 5 years, does it mean that when you are now what's a quadai? No, so it's a quadai, baby. You were living together before you divorced. You were living together before death came. So what do you have to show? Say everything was fine before something happened. So after the event, you don't have to show anything. But before the event, you must show something.
Aha, afei na yɛate aseɛ yie. Na obi question bisa obi koraa mpo asan bisa ɛwɔ platform ne so sɛ the things you have to get to add up with the application. Nti Grace, sɛnea aha na lawyer Asma akyerɛkyerɛ mu no, ehia papaapa. So, ehia, I mean, it answers your question. Nti, on this case, no, efutuo kakra a ɛwɔ ha a ɔsɛ yɛhyɛ ne nso a ɛbɛboa. Menim sɛ dodoɔ na that EU settle status application and I say pre-settle application no nkurɔfo bebree kyerɛ sɛ nkurɔfo ayɛ I don't think say afei na obi bɛyɛ aba bɛyɛ pre-settle status application I don't think so sɛ ebi wɔ hɔ deɛ lawyers man dem nim but from time a Brexit ho nsɛm ne ade bɛdu ɛnɛmmere mu menim sɛ dodoɔ na ankasa ayɛ these kinds of application ɔmo ayɛ. Enti no sɛ application a wodi kan yɛ na ansa na wobɛyɛ EU no ebusuani no a yɛma wo either sɛ pre-settled na anaasɛ wei no settled status anaasɛ ɔsɛ those document na ehia nkasa because sɛ ɛmomo tete a na woanya hwee koraa sɛnea lawyer Asma kyerɛ sɛ up to time a momo tete yɛ no ɛnea ɔsɛ wokyerɛ sɛ na mote together. Enti no sɛ afei na wokɔ mu di a ɛne nipa ko no bɔ mmɔden a sɛ fie baako na moti a monyɛ nneɛma mbobɔ no kyerɛ sɛ mo te together sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a sɛ mo tete a wowɔ that evidence na up to time a mo tete yɛ no sɛ ɛyɛ owuo sɛ ɛyɛ awaregyaeɛ sɛ ɛyɛ separation no you have the evidence from the day one a motena yɛ up to time a saa event no esi no ɔhɔ na ehia paa hɔ ɛna nso na lawyer Asma akyerɛkyerɛ mu ato ne bo ase ama yɛnya ho nti ase lawyer Asma yɛda ase nti na kyerɛ sɛ from ɔhɔ no onya saa nneɛma no ɛde ka ho deɛ a ebetum because ɛno nti na yɛsɛ you've retained your right no abratama nipa no efiri wɔ abrabɔ mu yo adeɛ ɛmo ɔde paa dodoɔ na mo aba so mesrɛ mo ani de mo share program ne ma me na mo like page no na afei nso no mo subscribe to our YouTube channel no every Friday bia Thursday Friday Saturday bia BWF Solicitors the education more they say the betuga all platforms no enti no mo share na mo like na mo subscribe na beboa ye nyina last my mene ko enti ebekọ yenim enche bia mebie telephone lines de atum se na ebe ya embia na questions ami ewo menum no ennoso ana enka wo de ho eba also wo bia opese obisa na lawyer Asma eyi ano de amount enti enche bia just about the next 5 minutes no mebie lines no se na ebe ya wo so betumi abo awremu na obisa wo question na yeyi ano enhye da emfa ho se ne ye can retention of right the what, the why, and the how, no, and who seven na person be some found between bisa question bia ope bia lawyer Asma ebe ano e the amount. Enti tiliduma mesa edawase na najima nyame nhyira dodo na maba so nyame nhyira mo ye kan say ikeme mebisa o question enche bia why na Sandra Fraser good morning to you as well me gidi say ohoye wodi ye kan say information to get to BWF Solicitors you know they are two platform so say ne be ya ebeboa dodo no opese ohun lawyer Asma just after the program now you can always call him and as a book an appointment with the secretary no na amount time na lawyer Asma emfro na onenye mu consultation no eboa ehia na ebeboa won so enti ye koye nim bisa me last question na last month sisia no metumi retain me right me hu me the water e ma me retain ye me hu why e ma me retain na me hu how a metumi e dey akomenim based on me retention no sisia no Eto de bia na individual application embia na enye nipa baako ana nipa mienu. Yenim se we no obi de na me te ho kakra e de ama wo. Sisi ano na me depend on me maame ana me papa e na ma retain me right. Na me retain me right na me kwaya application no. Emoa na me nso me kofa nyinsen ana se me ko ware obi. Me ware obi no. Anche bia e na maame no ana papa na nipa kwa me depend on no. Ofi ma brabo mu. Sisi a me return me right there na me koya application nipa ko na ono nso abeka me ho no. Ono nso ne gina bia ene sen ana ono de entumi enka ne ho entumi emfa ontumi ngina me so. We ni obi dadwen na ogina ne maame so ena ono nso so ware o sempra twe o oni obi foforo aka ne ho. Enti aha no menim say e tricky kakra na obi question ode abetu menim. Lasma eden na ose oye.
Yo, wait na
Mhm.
ente ubeti ehɔ no kakra ama me. Last bit na waka ya no mpacho.
Yo, any say me gina me maame so ana me papa so na me dey retain me right ana me more retention of right no. Abra me pese me kɔ m'anim no. Na omo wo hɔ enti na me nim say me wo right. Na mom anche bia na me kɔfa oba ana me kɔfa obema ebe ka me ho. Ebe ka me ho yi me maame ana papa yi efiri mu. Omo free mu yi metumi retain me right. Na mom obi abeka me ho. Se me koya application ni papa abeka me ho no. Ne gina bia ne sen.
Yo, nti nipa na obeka ho no obeka ho sasan sa wo yere anasa wo kunu anasa wo ba.
Me ba.
Nti yɛmfa sɛ wokuta 5 years pre-settled.
Sa.
And obviously, so we retain right now another application for indefinite after 5 years there when you're indefinite.
Na
So
me
when
nye.
you're 5 years,
Mm.
ukuta wow, you have two options. That is how when you're indefinite now register with Bano to
Mm.
become a British citizen. And now so say Ubaka say okay, and there may your application on the basis. But remember, one umame and as our papa no if you at that time, you know.
Mm.
Apalane na na ni ho.
Mhm.
Apalane ni na na waka say ne na no gino atnemu as a
Okay.
grandchild.
Mm.
Na no ewu because that's your
Okay.
grandmother or grandfather. That
Yes.
grandparent is dead. So
Mm.
our grandparent is dead, you know. The only thing you have is your divorce, your the death certificate of that family member.
Yeah.
You can, if it is necessary,
Mhm.
so over your application, palana, you can
Mhm.
argue on the basis that me banye, let me put 5 years.
Mhm.
5 years media no is based on my parent. But
Mhm.
Sakalawi, the grandparent were and ka
Mhm.
obejina no so aye application. However,
Mhm.
there's another argument to say
Mhm.
akwala no ye wo no after Brexit. Na akwala no ye wo no so na maame no anasa papa no wewu.
Okay.
And now the relationship between papa no awewu anasa maame no awewu ne akwala no eni ho bio.
Ah.
Because one met akwala no meto ne nana no.
Abeto ni nana. Mm.
Yes, but what do we do for Apalawe? Say, let's put in application for
Mhm.
5 years pre-settled for this child. But then it
Mm.
will be a technical argument.
Okay.
It will be a technical argument, say, and yet uwu ne baya, nka
Enka.
grandparent would have sponsored
Done it.
the child's application.
Okay. Okay.
But there's death. So can we
Mm.
rely on the death certificate? Would the child
Mm.
also retain a right?
Sa.
But did this child have any rights
At all.
at all? This
Say.
child didn't really have any right because one met the grandparent, you know.
Okay.
And now
Mm.
when your application for 5 years out or what's what the
Mm.
grandparent free.
Mm.
So on that argument about retention of rights for the child, it will be difficult.
Wow.
But argument I will make here say, okay, can we make a discretion for Apalawi? Say, on my menu, and I say, yes, parents, of course. On my menu, put 5 years, apply on the back of the strength of only 5 years.
Okay.
And in the interest of Aqualano, best interest of Aqualano. So I will say, oh, man, Aqualano, that means Aqualano is a unify UK. Meanwhile, the mother cannot be removed. The mother cannot be removed because the mother at least can retain her right after the 5 years. And so if the mother can remain based on the law, should we remove the child from the UK? Or we should let the child stay in the UK based on the discretion of the law? There will be discretion of the law. Discretion.
Hey, not just a BBA solution or into the difficult aspect and say Ekobani say or yere and also kunua and no so be asem foforo. The same scenario, no, but this case nenye akwala but makwawari and makwawari nti kuno no and also or yere no based on my 5 years now me retaining me right no. Or no so to make na
No, but we'll retain your right. We'll retain your right yet.
me retaining
Based on me 5 years now, maybe retaining my right, because you're only going to retain your right once you are due for indefinite.
Okay.
If you are not due for indefinite, you haven't retained any right. But technically, BBA kwesi. Nti adena esininti. So person we application you can apply on the basis say. So into retention of rights, a operational, a legal argument, I will put it in.
Okay.
Nti etie for ne ahwefo moma yenhwe ehɔ no so say you can say retention of right and your application be a wo kwa akoye na aka say me koye retention of right number ukwaye application for indefinite because your right has been retained because of that event.
I see.
Now, I mean, we use those expressions. Into what the senior no, wa worry wow. Would the papa no a mama na oji witinem no ni hobio. But when you say we indefinite the about me betumi akoye. Which is good because what breast you can apply for indefinite using evidence of what has happened. But what about your child? Your child,
Now your husband.
You can apply for Obano. Now what you say? So me mean to me, MF UK and call me Chrome dear, and the more consider me bay, even though legally me bano any acquaint biya.
Say ya can uba no deal no, but see I make say ukunu no and answer we ne dear na America. Akwala ne dear ye huso ye what church ma
So what worry for fro? Oh, right. Okay.
And you
Interesting
know,
point.
obi
Yeah. Okay.
life event,
Obiasam
obi
no.
life story
Yeah.
pa on me
Yeah.
discuss
Wow.
on
Wow. Okay. Now let's break it down.
Yeah.
Into mene ona ewo ho. Ona woji mi tena mu. Nti una we yi uni. Na woji mi etena mu. Aware no egu. But even though aware no egu no, media be evidence say yetena bu omu ansa aware no egu. And aware no ye wo divorce, menya divorce certificate. Nti me time so I will move on. And because of love, because of love, I have gone to remarry. Yes, sir.
Yes.
I've
Okay,
remarried.
me who can yeah, sir, but who can different a scenario. Maybe
No, the
I
same
got it from my parents. Okay.
oh, you got it from your parents. And our parents in a film.
But my ma ko worry. And yawo.
But are you asking for this for Bemano and I say, oh, asking for Aqualano?
No, akwala ni de aka wi. Obema
Yeah,
na
into
asa ko
Bemano.
worry no.
Exactly. And you're the same as example I made no.
Okay.
Yati one last year, then we can apply it to death.
Matiasi.
Enti me ne wo no yente matete, but
Sir.
me okay. Me 5 years no so I can still go because I have divorce certificate.
Sir.
Oba no oba me life mu no ni nkrata.
Debbie.
But wakai say tama me ne me yere ho no yama me 5 years. Me so wo de no na me still ekura me boa.
Sa.
Nti se me kasa me kwaya ama no a me na me ya ama na say ne kura no na o ya ama no.
Ah.
You see the point I'm making is the point I'm making is say yeah me to me your application man no. Because me the 5 years based on me yere we no.
Okay.
Based on me yere no na be 5 years.
Sa.
The 5 years no so am be indefinite.
Sa.
Ma me yere after morning I have remarried.
Sa.
And now me yere no e ka say oh and me kunu say o kra okuta 5 years. And
Sa.
it sponsor me.
Sa.
Now, say, do I have the strength to sponsor this new spouse? No,
Spouse. Anna. No.
because
Okay.
no, because one, I don't have indefinite.
Sa.
Two, I'm not an EU national myself,
Okay.
and because of that, I cannot be a qualifying partner. And because I cannot be a qualifying partner, I cannot sponsor this lady who
Lady.
has come
Okay.
into my life. Until I meet this, I said, would the lady depend on me or depend on the
Akwala na wabe mu no.
the rival now we will know. Rival now we will know. You cannot depend on her to say that you also have retention. So you, the new person, you can't have retention. The retention is only for near Ocha Warena Senwa, our negu, and I say, Obano Efimuno. Now let's extend it. Extend it to saying I work on me papa no the mommy. And I said, me mommy no the mommy. Na me mommy a film. Me mommy a film no and can the normal circumstance. Me mommy film no and can some ho che me. Can some krata no. Me time so on maka say your parent is no longer alive, so we cannot give it to you. But under you emra you between the amount because owo no ama we retain you right for future.
Sa.
But me retaining me right, me nko na me retaining here. Nti some
Okay.
akwa ware a, me yere no ntumi nka say my
Obedina.
in-law who is dead. You see, my in-law who
Matthias.
is dead should also transfer powers to me. No,
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. It makes sense now. Yeah.
good. Because one, this lady, even if the in-law no wa hokra, come to me on your man anyway.
And yeah. Oh,
Because
okay.
there is nothing for in-laws. There used to be, but even now it's quite because in-law is also
A
a
family
daughter
member.
or a son, a
Okay.
daughter-in-law, a son-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law. But do they have the same right as the biological child? No. The
No.
laws have the case law now. It can be divided. In some breath, you can argue and get it. In another breath, you argue and they say no. And even that, a technical, some my
Okay.
manager say, won't mean can say you are applying to remain with your in-law. Meanwhile, who husband, and that's our wife, is also relying on the parents as
To
an over 21 dependent, right?
dependent. Yes. Yes.
And at the moment you have your own family, you cannot be a dependent. So even if the in-law is still alive, kabaya dinsta wubetumi abata ho bi. Let alone the in-law is dead. Even if alive is
And then
difficult, how
what's
can you
what's
come in when alive and when dead? So no, ewo no.
Okay. Yɛate aseɛ. But yɛnim nso sɛ ɛno nso nkyerɛ sɛ biribiara sɛ ɛneɛ sɛ ɔsɛ wobɛtwɛn woanya indefinite na afei woakɔka ne ho ɛnti no ɛme deɛ saa na advice na mede ma sɛ ɛneɛ ɔntwɛn akwalaa no a wabɛ mu no ɛne ne kunu no ɔntwɛn ɔmonyɛ ɔmo indefinite a na afei wakɔ akɔyɛ ama no sɛ nte saa nso a yes okay mmerɛ ne kɔ no nti no mɛbie telephone lines now I know there are a whole lot of questions based on this particular topic a yɛaka no but mbia mmerɛ no nso a yɛkɔ no sɛ bɛmɛtiefoɔ kwan no mo nso mo mbrɛ mu bi. So no numbers e bi di dwa no 07399208468 anaasɛ wobɛtumi afrɛ 07596620154 na woatumi ebisa wo question. Mehu sɛ obi agya voice note ɛwɔ ha. Mehwehwɛ voice note no na membɔ na yɛntie. But before mɛbɔ no, menkan Jack Mo, in Jack Mo say Jack Mo. I hope say my boy didn't correct. But of fact, me say yes, sir. I say good morning, auntie and lawyer. As an EU person settled in the UK with settlement status, do I need to provide my passport to support my child registration as British, or can I just reference my settlement? Lasma, yenya in Kamo, Jackmo. Well, the question here.
Right. I mean, when you are applying for a passport for your child, you first have to show that Aqualano are British. And under Section 1 of the British Nationality Act 1981, or say, whilst the child is still a child. Okay, so one, the first part is that before the child was born, the parent has indefinite. If the parent has indefinite before the child was born, the child is British by birth. Question: is it true that the parent, Jack Moore or whoever, whether it's the man or woman, is it the case that this person has indefinite leave to remain before the child was born? If yes, the person will have to provide the indefinite leave to remain.
Okay.
Because it is the indefinite leave to remain that will show that Section 1 of the British Nationality Act 1981 has been met.
I see. All right.
And the question is simple. What do I show? Show that you have indefinite. And your
And
indefinite
one.
number, no, then boom, EUSS settled status na yedema wono. And as I say, what they say, akwala application, no, oh, yeah, the passport application, and then other akwala birth certificate. So these are two critical evidence.
Okay, yeah, that's it. And Jack Mo, I hope say what lawyer Asma say very simple. Yentie wenso.
Good morning,
What's meant to crowd?
Oh, nti wa ho.
Baby.
Ora ma me mbɔ ne wa ha. Em say because any system no mo nti no na aba ne sa, but let's see if we can hear from here.
Good morning, and I'm a senate, my palm of my name is Sam on Democracy, loyally, name is Sam. My question is 2020-2021 Tassiano in the HMRC. And 2021 to 2 some Kodeka. Nti na flashing me home ti HM for the can buy na nti masha se omni menya arrangement bia me boso me na me twa ne kakra ti me boso me nwie ba me na me twa nti because say me buy me citizenship application next month nti no e bit na koso problem ama me na because omni menya arrangement me na me twa ne boso bia me tete na kakra we 2000 na we 1000 the effect one na pacho the toss on say secondly no if I say me no kafo me partner anam no ho no nya police issue kakra ma social problem ama ye sort to me no further action am arrest him tell us no yang process case and ko anya me tin me indicate to say actually say jam na case no further evidence mu jam na patron me da sepa no me question me be say me busa.
Okay, lawyer Sampacha Ote.
I'm so say or the car and a otia me boy.
And second question here, police case no.
Okay, nti o de car na otia there and send there. I mean, I buy crowd the car. Nti any there, any big deal, sir. Why?
I say
The next
a
one, no,
cano
police.
a
What's it?
cano enye HR for no na ehihye ma no no ano hu say ye de bre ni so di cano nti na every month we twabo a oguso a otua nti e be affect na na
na me say ɛka deɛ obiara de bi na ehia ne sɛ wonya wetu ɛka no mu sɛ ubetia what we call
Now we yeah.
commitment and responsibility and why that's fine it doesn't and of course the question is that maybe say do you owe but even though he owes he's paying
Yes.
arrangement ɛwɔ hɔ nti problem.
Okay.
Now the next one no arrest no. For your
So.
application for naturalization, this one say, have you ever been no a listing your maybe pre. So no obesha say arrest e wo mu a. Nti arrest wo mu dia obeka say yes. Na wa chiri mu say I was arrested for this. There was no charge and I was left to go and nothing happened. But obi wo mu a you charge no. Na we didn't when you need didim obi so mu a almost say no further action so ne okaye no omo tene de no further action but doesn't mean say omo arrest no into arrest na buy na wo check list no na who say arrest there say yes and explain
Okay. Okay.
as arrest
That's
ni list no there so arrest ni list no so there then it doesn't apply to you.
apply to you. And it's criminal conviction yeah the lawyers my young funny say why oh yes our application no. But you know okay say you've ever had an encounter with the police then be now court na the but I check my friend said 20 years ago kai and no I say you remember say BB says now yes our application now. How do you say now be put to say yes, you've been arrested before, but won't kai what happened? And na a hono a yes if him kakra. Dear now say oh yeah, a banisana, application is so.
Yeah, application no the date was so there say the date no ehya so. Date no bi o ma ye day, month and year. And say what the okay month and year no. Now what the eno hya so na efa dia na afa. But some fa dia na just say okay all three dates no. Day, month and year. And no say no a fact. Obi antumi emphasize information no emma wo. This a na
So say
then
what your date, you know, and what your MBA okay say January 2020 and not January 2000. But on kai date na on kai day na ka ho na. Na bia wo utro say 1st January 2000 no. Na say omoko check na bia na enye sa will it go against you? Say
what. Okay, I got a point. Anti Ufi Hoa, Ufi date no Obaka say describe what happened or give further information.
okay.
Anti further information when I bet you say Bia say ne see and a equaba say Bia you arrested me. There was no further action. So it ended. But because there's bit about date, you want to show them say one kai until we be na then sure.
I shall
So you have
okay.
to make them aware say it happened long time ago. My memory, as far as I can recall, it happened in 2021, 2022, or whatever the date is. I'm not certain about the date I have provided. But as far as so then they know, say what the date
Okay.
national, but only
Okay.
100%.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
and no. I'm going to mean cast away draw because what you say, if you
Yes.
document, be a document and when people won't
I see.
kai, but what kai say a year be say, but application no, I'm out a crime say with the year pen a besha so you have put down a day and a month. Oh, a year was say a yes, sir, but you when you're sure.
Okay, so ne nyinaa yɛ explanation ɛwɔ saa further explanation no hɔ no nti wotumi ka saa deɛ ne wadedi wo tirim na nkɔba ne sɛ woatwa ntorɔ ɛwɔ application no so nti wo a wotie me saa na ɛteɛ yo yɛnkɔ yɛnim sɛ kɔla bi baa line no so but ɛm sɛ ɔde ato so nti menka Nana Kwaku question a ɔde aba no ɔse is it true that you can do indefinite application after 2.5 years and the EU new from July 2025. Hey.
I don't
Not just
understand the
a
question.
July new, no, not just a new policies be about from July. Into bisa say no crash say obetuma indefinite application. Mbia watiti say you for no say 2.5 na wo kra na with the new policies na aba no obetumi akwa indefinite. No kra na.
Oh, I'm say sa ade na ayekọ round and say no correct.
Antisa.
Now more can say so we EU ni and I say EU family member. Now what's your mind more? There's something called continuous residence. Continuous residence no can no na 2 years. Continuous. So we call absence. Continuous 2 years continuous absence. Into we call baby 3 years continuously there. More or less no more patch and say one person will bet na UK be. Because one person what's na UK and can unto na baby for more than 2
2
years.
years. Okay.
And one no more simplify no say. So 2 years continuous no be anipa no call no yare akọbọ no for 2 years. Emanabo. Untumi punish no. So there should be a reason. But that time no it appears say and yet a 2-way because 5 years, not 2 years absent. What about 3 years no it's not UK no. Santi no mark I say about 2.5 years absence. We okay. So you can be absent for 2.5 years. And the 2.5 years should not be the same time. A bit me different time I would do what's not baby near idea 1 year, 6 months, all put together shouldn't be 2.5. Remember,
Yeah.
naturalization, residence assessment, absence assessment, 450 millimeter or 200 and something for other people. However, you for no my say absence period should be 2.5 years if you are also indefinite. I don't know for say what's name 2.5 years I'll indefinite. No. Say why you're absent, your absence should not be more than 2.5 years.
Yes.
Otherwise, you cannot apply for indefinite. That's all.
Wow. And then Tiasia no na ya na menkan we or they are sending about direct. So see, as I'm a parent and attending my grandson naming ceremony. In UK, sorry, Miss Anka, say I'm a parent and attending my grandson naming ceremony UK. I registered my business in June this year. Tax payment, invoices, receipt, and everything supplied to home office and application submitted in July to prove home ties. Will it raise an alarm to home office because of close timing of application? And say be a business in June and now we application in July. So bisa say home office for or may ye or many back say ana. Me ye kasala as
So
was
is it so this obi ejuma no na
June
or you say ejuma no for then?
for application no or the tax
Is it
payment invoice.
if as self-employed?
Any one ka but or say or the adwuma ho nkrataa ɛyɛ tax payment invoice receipt and everything supplied to home office and application supply in nti na kyerɛ sɛ ɔse to prove home ties na kyerɛ sɛ ɔwɔ biribi a ɔyɛ wɔ fie a ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɔba a ɔbɛsan akɔ ɛna wakɔyɛ
All right.
application no.
So okay, like visitors visa.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, question is, what is your reason for starting the business? Is it to get a visa or to run a business for survival? Because why you with a business no and now 1 month later, what you kwaji we are. I mean, it depends on how the caseworker will see it, and even that in terms of ties, dear, the fact that what business no interest okwa obeba, and the fact that we need business no interest okwa wumba. About visitors application, be an niti. But so a business I will run it, and I will say business means you back there. Then the business should have been running for some time. Before the business, what were you doing? Because you need at least this month's
Yeah.
profile. And it's a
Yes.
1 month that you're self-employed. Does it mean 6 months now when you're free?
Now we're done.
Without we are
And
then.
the question, say, or that so repeat it. Last week we had a similar question. Na bra, I would say me nim say what would desperate say parents then best ram or UK no, but I think say it's best you see the lawyers wait. When in an say a very successful application visitors visa, dear like lawyer Asma said, Ubiani niti. Samuel Akin to me, they say, good morning, lawyer gurus. Yes. Can I sponsor myself if my partner refused to renew my spouse visa for me? Am I a staff? I'm a staff of one of the UK leading supermarket. Question sounding familiar. Lawyers, ma to me self-sponsor himself. Or say Nigeria refusing to renew his spouse visa for Emmanuel.
Well, so sponsor there. All you have to do is to show that the company is licensed to sponsor workers. Nti sɛ adwuma no a woka ho ma yɛbie no ɛwɔ license na woyɛ adwuma ma saa adwuma no deɛ a, then of course you can apply. So the word so the word can I? Yes, you can. But will it happen? Depends.
Okay. And Samuel, if you want to go further with this, please you can contact the lawyers after the program, and I'm sure they will get back to you on this. Elijah Campbell, say hi, lawyer. What documents are required to prove 5 years continuous residence for naturalization? I think this when you go, they are listed there. But lawyers, my yes, over to me actually say what documents are required.
Your natural excuse me. Excuse me. So for naturalization, documents depending on where you are coming from, because we have okay, so this naturalization, whether you are applying as a child, as a parent, somebody, everybody and their bit. But let me just look at the general position. Under section 6 of the Nationality Act, Schedule 1, Obaka say life in the UK. Obaka say naturalization, English language B1, B2, but at least B1. Obaka say you should not have had any criminal issues. Obaka say, as I said, we prove 5 years residence in the UK. And remember, we're talking about residence. So again, it depends on whether it is EU or not. But 450, 5 years evidence of living in the UK and evidence that you have not been away for 450, for more than 450 days. If it is the standard naturalization, if it is a British citizen who is applying to remain, who is naturalizing based on if it is somebody who is naturalizing based on the relationship with a British citizen, the period will be less than 450. So there are a whole range of things depending on where the person is coming from into the naturalization application. The key things for now, 5 years evidence, life in the UK, English language, and the rest will be dependent on their specific circumstance.
Okay, say no, Auntie Grace. Okay, Grace. Okay. Let me answer this before Grace one. Do you have to inform Home Office after the divorce certificate has been received? Where Kim Bros one. Kin, not just say minim scenario won, but obisa say why divorce out the divorce certificate about say catch Home Office say me Home Office for you. Me divorce you, me divorce certificate na ba ana entisa.
I mean, I cannot say yes or no, depends on the circumstance. There are the default rule is that if the relationship is no longer subsisting, then you have to inform the
The
Home
Home
Office.
Office.
But even that, if that's the case, you don't have to wait up to the divorce stage. The moment Muntemutiti and Sauma Abai aware. But again, depends on the specifics and to minimum a specific circumstance.
Yeah.
I think it would be better for him to get one-to-one conversation time so that we discuss it. Then the woman, because I think he has a lot to ask or a lot to
Exactly.
share. But because of the platform, to me, and and it will be better so when your consultation time so that he can
Now,
openly express himself, then we can understand, ask further questions. Now you to me
no correct because me tears me divorce and then the entire me ko home office am say my divorce so it depending obi and the situation unless you've got something to do with the home office. Yo, I'm say mre no call lawyers my mre no call kra man but because and they to me answer si entem no ntino yenya grace period kakra maybe sa grace question no na fe dey me summarize idea yeah and then grace for so say please, if you are under EU settlement and you have not gotten your indefinite, can you bring your children from Ghana to join you, or you have to wait until you get your indefinite? Grace ni question ni lawyers man.
yo anti so ne kunu no na ti dia ne kunu betumi akofa nkwala no as stepfather to the children. Ena sɛ ne maame na ɔne ne maame anasa ne papa nso a grandparent no betumi akɔfa nkwalaa no as grandparent. And it depends on circumstance. But say no dear on to me just apply to bring ne mba no. Say okuta 5 years pre-settled into akɔfa ne mba aba. I just said parent and I said spouse and I'll be sponsor nkwalaa no.
Yo, tiefoɔ na ahwɛfoɔ em sɛ aha na mmerɛ bɛma yɛn ho kwan na yɛmfa dwumadie no mba wie na mmom ansa na yɛbɛba awieɛ no mɛsrɛ lawyer asma nɛ me sister baako me lawyer baako ɛyɛ lawyer Annie Onia nti mebisa lawyer asma sɛ is there any way a yɛbɛtumi in just less than 2 minutes summarize the topic that we brought today in the English version so that we can also share to our neighboring countries no monty and kromu kasa no until last ma meto edi amount if we can because of time e back to me akoyini but if we can no bacho obeto me aye summary no edi amame.
Yo, right, sure. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners, today's conversation, we looked at retention of right application. What is it? Why is that? And how does it work? We concluded that retention of right is a privilege under EU rules for family members whose relationships have been curtailed or ended because of death or divorce. It is not an application in itself, and therefore you use it as an argument when you are making your indefinite leave to remain application once your 5 years pre-settled is due. We've understood that to make this application, if you married in the UK and you had your first 5 years in the UK, then you can put in that application from the date of the marriage, which is the indefinite leave to remain, on the basis of your retention of right due to death or due to divorce. If you married abroad, then you have to wait once your 5 years is up from the date you entered the UK, the first day you entered the UK to start your residence. We've understood that you have to prove the evidence to support your indefinite leave to remain application. And the evidence must start from the beginning to the date that the relationship ended. And if the relationship ended due to divorce, there will be date of divorce or date of separation. If your relationship ended due to death, then you have to provide evidence up to the date the person died. If you are not able to provide evidence up to that date of the event, then it will be difficult for you to prove that the relationship existed before that event. And so you can apply for indefinite leave to remain. Let's bear this in mind and always put together all the evidence we need up to the date of the event, death or divorce. Otherwise, the caseworker will say that you have not been able to prove that there was relationship before that event date. And so your right has been retained. It's also possible that they can even go back to your first application and check how you got it in the first place if there's no evidence to prove the relationship at all. So in making this application, please take your time, gather your evidence, make sure you are due to put in that application before you do so. If you are not sure, remember to seek advice. But all in all, once there is cessation in relationship by death or divorce, your right will remain with you and you can apply for indefinite leave to remain under EU rules. Thank you.
Yo, Loyasma, you better say. For now, I've seen number of questions unanswered. Ewa ha, Miss Ramoni Demo, and Brennan to Mestre, Yamea Duma, Ochna, all these questions are Modiabano. Ye be ewa the community and the law, so Ochna 4 o'clock sharp. Now to 2 solid hours will answer these questions. And to make a date with us, men ko baby, just tune in as soon as you get the notification. Tune in. Maybe bisa o question wɔ hɔ na wenya ho answer. Yo, aha na dwumadie no bɛma yɛn ho kwan na yɛde aba awieyɛ ɛtɔ de bi a na nneɛma agorɔ no yɛ dɛ no na obi se akwantufoɔ ɛkyɛ wɔ kwan mu. Me so me deɛ no. Mɛda mo nyinaa ase sɛ mo join yɛn na mo share yɛn na mo like page no na mo subscribe to our channels no nyinaa nyame enka yɛn ho. Next week same time no ɛbɛbɔ mmɔden na yɛde another beautiful educative topics ɛsan ɛde bɛba na ɛmboa yɛn na yɛn nyinaa yɛnya ho mfasoɔ. Media ne manyɛti hyia baabi a na ɔfrɛ manyɛti a megye wo so ɛnɛ me ne lawyer Asma ɛna di dwuma no na mmerɛ no aso sɛ yɛbɛsɔre. To have a lovely weekend na bɔ mmɔden a keep on sharing, keep on listening and keep on with us. Nyame nka yɛn ho. Bye bye.
Based in London, we are a dynamic award-winning firm specialising in a range of legal services. Welcome to BWF Solicitors, a trusted and experienced law firm specialising in immigration and nationality, appeals and judicial review, dispute resolution, family and matrimonial, and other family law disputes with international context. These include matters such as private child arrangement orders, contestant and uncontested divorce, non-molestation for domestic violence, and financial remedy. Our childcare and family team appreciate the issues facing you at such a difficult time. Our advice is delivered in a confidential and sensitive manner. Meet Bernard Owusu, our esteemed senior partner. With over 32 years of experience and known for his expertise and dedication to serving our clients and the community. BWF Solicitors stands for integrity, respect, excellence, teamwork, diversity, inclusion, and service to the community. We provide tailored assistance specific to your case. At BWF Solicitors, every day is filled with dedication, creativity, and a commitment to finding the best solutions for our clients. Our team at BWF Solicitors is ready to assist you with all your legal needs. You can find us at the 4th floor, Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road, Seven Sisters, London, N15 4NP. Our main office line is 0208 493 7340, or our emergency line is 07712 761 884.